There are few things that send a chill down a supplement marketer's bones more than a letter from the FTC. A letter that says you've made non-compliant claims in your natural health advertising, and you could be fined millions of dollars and risk losing your business. In extreme cases, you may even risk losing your liberty. And more supplement companies are now getting these letters because the internet is not the Wild West anymore. You can't make unsubstantiated claims or stretch the truth until it snaps. And if the rumors are true, the alphabet agencies now have bots scanning the internet for non-compliant claims. There's already a graveyard of supplement companies who thought compliance was for wimps. So in this video, I'm going to share a few tips for ensuring you're making compliant claims in your natural health supplement advertising, and how you can even use being compliant to your advantage. First, here are a few red flags to watch out for. Don't use the terms clinically or scientifically proven unless your claims are actually proven in human clinical trials. Another red flag is never to use fake testimonials. One husband and wife team got fined $2 million for inventing the customers quoted in their weight loss ads. But perhaps the biggest red flag of them all is making anything close to a claim about preventing or reversing a disease. One company got fined $2 million for claiming its brain training program would improve people's performance at work and keep memory loss at bay. A mistake they'll never forget. The same applies to anti-aging claims. A telomere supplement company got in hot legal water for claiming their supplement reverses aging, prevents DNA damage, and restores an aging immune system. Just for measure, they also failed to mention that reviewers got compensated for their praise. So clearly, the potential costs of non-compliance are business-bustingly high. And with the FTC believed to have opened a division targeting digital marketers, you can expect more fines to be doled out with gusto. Now, before we continue, I want to make it clear that the advice in this video is merely offered as a suggestion. I'm not a trained lawyer, and it's not professional legal advice. You should always get your health copy checked by a qualified legal professional. Now that's been said, here are a few tips for keeping your health copy clean and compliant. The FTC's guidelines on supplement advertising can be boiled down to two cast iron rules. Number 1, always tell the truth. Number 2, prove every claim you make. Sounds simple, don't you think? But there are some landmines to watch out for. Let's tackle rule number 1 first. You could be deemed to be breaking this rule and not telling the truth if you misrepresent the facts. So you can't make any strong claims that an ingredient can provide a health benefit unless you've got solid evidence to support it. This is why it's best to use phrases like "some studies suggest" or "it's thought that," because you want to be creatively vague rather than state unproven claims as facts. Now, another landmine few natural health copywriters know about is that a supplement has to address an issue that's widespread. If the supplement addresses a mineral deficiency only 9% of the population suffers from, you must disclose this. As for 81% of people, your supplement is little better than a sugar pill. Another thing you must not do is miss out key information. If people in a study lost 15 pounds in 2 months after taking the supplement, but in combination with diet and exercise, you must state this, and that your reader will need to exercise and diet too to gain similar results, as few supplements achieve life-transforming benefits on their own. Something else to avoid at all costs is providing advice that may harm the reader. You can't say a supplement has 0 side effects when it makes some people jitter like the Duracell bunny. If you want to make a 0 side effects claim, you must have rock-solid scientific proof that every ingredient is safe. So those are the landmines to avoid for rule number 1, which is to always tell the truth. Under rule number 2, prove every claim you make. This is where things get messy, because it's not just the overt claims you've got to prove. It's also the implied ones. The claims made in your testimonials, your images, quotes by experts, and the way you present proof. For example, if you say 9 out of 10 cardiologists recommend Heart Health Max, you must also provide a study that proves Heart Health Max really does have solid benefits for heart health. Just saying cardiologists approve is not enough. Similarly, if you have a before and after photo of a woman going from sitting in a chair to dancing the tango, you've got to prove your supplement provides this level of joint relief. The key takeaway is this: it's the net impression of what your ad says that matters. The totality of all the claims, both overt and implied, not just the study results you've lovingly curated and handpicked to promote the health-supporting powers of your supplement's ingredients. So what counts as proof? The FTC defines proof as tests, analyses, research, studies, or other evidence based on the expertise of professionals in the relevant area that have been conducted and evaluated in an objective manner by persons qualified to do so using procedures generally accepted in the profession to yield accurate and reliable results. Allow me to simplify that for you. There are key requirements the study needs to fulfill for it to be deemed as providing accurate and reliable results. It must be double-blind and placebo-controlled, human rather than animal or in vitro studies. You must have the entire study and not just an informal summary or abstract. It must be peer-reviewed and published in a reputable journal. It must be an adequate duration, such as 6 weeks in length. There must be enough subjects who match the demographic of the target customer. The dosage and formulation must be the same as the supplement you're selling. The results must be statistically significant. The delivery mechanism must be the same. So the study must be of the ingredient consumed orally. And there must be a plausible biological mechanism to explain how the supplement works. So you see, finding compliance studies is no easy feat. Here's an example of a study that would be classed as strong proof. An ingredient in an eye health supplement is backed by 2 long-term, large-scale studies, which found that people over 70 who ate a lot of this ingredient have statistically significantly better eyesight. And this result is supported by a plausible biological mechanism. Now allow me to give an example of a weak study. A weak proof study would be where lots of people said an ingredient relieved their joint ache in a survey, but there's no plausible biological mechanism, and the findings conflict with another study. This example explains why CBD products are tough to advertise, because we still don't know exactly how they work. When it comes to presenting proof, the key takeaway is this. You must have studies with strong findings, and you must be able to explain the mechanism behind how the ingredient works. But here's the kicker. You can't cherry-pick studies to suit your claims. As the FTC states, advertisers should consider all relevant research relating to the claimed benefit of their supplement and should not focus only on research that supports the effect, while discounting research that does not. In other words, if the science for your ingredient is weak, then using words like may or could is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. And it gets more complex, because according to the letter of the law, you can't exaggerate the effects people experienced in a study or suggest greater scientific certainty than exists. So avoid words like boosts, improves, or skyrockets. You can't use these words because a supplement cannot be claimed to change the structure or function of a biological mechanism. That would make it a pharmaceutical and no longer a supplement. So instead, dial down the lingo to say an ingredient supports, maintains, or promotes. Using this dial-down language will also help you avoid the biggest landmine of them all, which I mentioned earlier, and that's to never make disease claims. You must never claim a supplement can treat, heal, reverse, or cure any disease or medical condition. Supplements can only support what the body does naturally. So the position needs to be that the reader is healthy already, and the supplement is merely helping them to maintain that level of peak health. For this reason, a supplement cannot be promoted as an option for treating any medical condition or disease. So never suggest the reader will be able to throw their meds in the trash. The FTC will come down on you like a ton of bricks if you do. So what about alternative medicine claims? Well, while it's perfectly okay to say an ingredient has a long history of use in alternative medicine, you can't say an ingredient is scientifically proven or backed by science unless you have the studies to prove it. Instead, you must say the reverse and convey that an ingredient is scientifically unproven and more research is needed. So what about ingredients with few studies to support them? The FTC does offer some leeway for breakthrough ingredients with limited research. As it states, the FTC's standard for evaluating substantiation is sufficiently flexible to ensure that consumers have access to information about emerging areas of science. So while it is feasible to highlight a previously under-researched ingredient's potential, you must ensure that it has a scientifically backed mechanism, and you must disclose there are limited studies available and more research is needed. So when all is said and done, a good smell test for whether an ad is compliant is to think about how you'd feel showing it to your grandma, and whether you would offer it as a solution to a health issue she has. Would you feel like you're tricking her or presenting a genuine solution? Now, finally, you may be wondering whether there's any leeway when it comes to storytelling, and whether taking readers on an emotionally charged journey from feeling tired, foggy-brained, and run down to brimming with energy, mental sharpness, and robust vigor is allowed? Well, according to one compliance expert, puffery is allowed. Puffery can include an exaggerated, blustering, and boasting statement about a product, or a general claim of superiority over comparable products that is so vague it's commonly understood as a mere expression of opinion. So as long as all your ingredients' health claims are backed by science, you're free to pitch with logic and sell with emotion. Now, finally, a quick word about disclaimers. Any additional info the reader needs to know about can't be buried in tiny type or in complex language Einstein would struggle to understand. Disclaimers and disclosures must be in the same font size as the rest of your ad and in clear, plain English. So there you go. Writing compliant health copy is loaded with landmines. And after watching this video, I hope you now understand why it's vital for health copy to pass a legal review before it goes live. Writing compliant health copy is indeed a challenge. And it makes the task of writing health copy that's both truthful and compelling super tough. Yet, trust is what consumers yearn for. In this era of fake news, distrust in the media, and mob justice via Twitter, making outrageous health claims is short-term thinking and can easily backfire. Promising miracle cures only for consumers to be disappointed also pushes up refund rates, shreds customer loyalty, and makes it harder to increase lifetime customer value. So the key to success is to not see compliance as a challenge, but something you can use to your advantage. You can use it as an opportunity to call out all the exaggeration, false claims, and hype and supplement advertising, and to position yourself as taking the stand and formulating supplements using only ingredients with solid studies to prove they work. In a market where belief is in short supply, calling out your competitors' false claims can make yours seem more trustworthy. As a leaderless copywriter John Carlton says, they don't want to believe you. So be honest with customers never given a fair shake by an advertiser. Or as Eugene Schwartz puts it, frankness silently says there's no nonsense here. Just common sense. And to really hit this point home, I'd like to quote from one of the greatest living copywriters, Gary Bencivenga, there is no more powerful nor consistent way to explode your response. Surround your claims with stronger, bolder proof and watch your response soar. So the bottom line is this. While balancing compliance with creating compelling ads is a challenge, it's also an opportunity. An opportunity to stand out as the ethical, trustworthy option. A chance to position your brand as one consumers feel loyal to and confident recommending to a friend or neighbor. And a chance to watch your conversions and lifetime customer value explode as a result. If you found this video helpful, you can find more posts like this at thecopywriterscrucible.com, where natural health copywriter Matt Ambrose shares outpourings from his melting pot of copywriting tips and marketing insight.